You there, boy. What podcast is this?
Why, it's Lexx Education, mister. Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, hell, ho! And welcome to another festive episode of Lexx Education. It's the comedy science podcast where usually in term time, comedian Laura Lexx, me, is trying to learn science from her non-comedian nerdy younger brother Ron. But it's the end of term. We've done everything in the syllabus that we planned. We've only got a couple of episodes left. Nobody expects us to concentrate and therefore we're pissing about.
Hello, I'm Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Hiya, how's it going?
It's really good, Ron. It's really good. Question. We're recording this obviously a little bit before Christmas because we like to be prepared. Do you think the listeners will have just listened to the same Christmas music we made in year one of doing this podcast, or do you think you'll make new music this year?
Why do I need to make new music?
Good question. Okay, so you just listened to the same one that we made. It's a good sign of the longevity of this podcast, though, that we genuinely are starting to scrape the barrel for Christmas ideas, isn't it? We've done so many years now, Ron.
We have, although we were scraping the barrel, but I believe myself to have found a juicy nugget at the bottom of that barrel.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I
I'm
think this is
excited
gonna be
about
fun.
both our Christmas episodes.
The nebulous one that we haven't decided.
Oh, I really think my idea that I told you about yesterday is really good.
Virgin births.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, like, sometimes with the ideas you come up with, they're interesting, but it's like, can we talk about it for 45 minutes?
Is that Santa?
No, it's Judith. It's not Santa.
Because you've got a filter onto me, you're just looking into an Aztec temple.
You're okay. We're doing a Christmas episode. We thought you might have been Santa.
Ho, ho, ho!
Pardon?
I just said I'm not a fat old man after you called me a fucking hobbit.
Why did you call Judith a hobbit?
We were watching Lord of the Rings, and hobbits love the pub and a smoke. So I was like, you could be a hobbit. And she was angry.
She does love the pub and a smoke, though. I went to a pub yesterday, Ron.
I love the pub and a smoke. What were you doing in a pub?
Is your tumble dryer or something on?
No, you can hear the fan in the bathroom. Hang on. Is that better?
A little, yes. Yesterday I did a show with The Noise Next Door. I was a guest on their show, and it's an early show. It's like 7 till 9-ish. And I'd booked the babysitter till 10:30, so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go to the pub with the friends that had come to see the show.
Amazing.
Yeah, I went to the pub. I had a mulled cider. It was lovely. Because on Friday, I had a real hankering to go to the pub. And I had a surprise Friday night off. So I was just like, oh. And I text my friend that's most likely to want to go to a pub and lives quite near. So we could potentially go to a walkable one. And she didn't reply because she assumed I'd sent the message to the wrong person.
Oh.
Which is, I don't know who it's sadder for. But either way, I didn't get to go to the pub.
I haven't been to the pub in ages.
I don't get to go to the pub very often. Well, it's in working hours for me. But
Yeah.
I did have a hankering. I had a hankering to be in a warm pub on a cold night with condensation-y windows and chitter-chatter and wet rings on the tables.
Lovely.
Had a
I do love a
hankering.
pub around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Okay, Laura. I need you to close your eyes and imagine for a second, please.
Are you going to hurt me?
No.
Okay.
I'm giving you responsibility above your station.
Why do I have to have my eyes closed?
Because you're imagining right now.
Okay, but I can't picture things, so I can just do it with my eyes open.
Okay, do it with your eyes. Fucking hell, do it with your eyes open then.
I never ever used to understand when they'd say close your eyes to imagine things. It'd be like, why does eyes being closed or shut help?
Yeah, because you're thick in weird ways, but that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Laura. You're in a helicopter.
Uh-oh.
You're being flown out. Not now, Gnocchi. You're being flown out to the North Pole.
Okay.
You are now the logistics manager for the North
shit.
Pole.
I apologize in advance, children of Earth. There will not be enough stuff, and what there is will be bad.
Don't worry, you don't have to handle the supply chain. That's all done, but you just have to make a couple of key decisions, okay? So, Laura, there are 2.4 billion children on the Earth, okay?
Okay.
That's the starting point that we're working with. We need to decide how our elves, your elves, you've got the clipboard and you've got fetching boots that you're going to stomp around and tell people what to do with, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of decisions you need to make. First of which, I need you, Laura, to decide how many toys each of these children are getting. They're waking up, they're going downstairs on Christmas morning. How many toys per child?
Well, it's tricksy, isn't it, Ron? Because is Father Christmas doing the big gift, or is Father Christmas doing like a stocking of fillers, you know? To my mind, Father Christmas really ought to be focusing on the stockingy fillers and let mum and dad focus on mum and dad. Let your adults focus on your big. So with that in mind, I'm going to go stocking territory, but that ups the numbers, Ron.
It certainly does. But I have a range of different gifts that you can decide to put in.
I'm going to say 15.
15, okay, all right. Okay, so they're getting 15 toys per child. Now, the next thing that you need to decide is, obviously, not every child in the world gets a toy.
No, the ugly ones get nothing.
The mingers
Cuties
get nothing.
only.
So, Laura, I've developed a naughtiness coefficient, and you need to decide how strict we're being on a scale of... So 1 is basically you have to be the best little boy in the world to get a toy.
Okay.
10 is you have to be Hitler not to get a toy. Where are you... Now, I've normally distributed the children of the world underneath that, okay? So they fall on a bell curve, but you have to decide how strict you're feeling with your naughty versus niceness.
God, I'm such a liberal dickhead therapeutic parent, Ron, that I don't believe there's anything to such thing as a naughty child. It's usually a need for something. So I've got to say even the 10s are getting presents, Ron, because it's just what I believe.
Okay, so you're going for a 10. Now, I'm afraid there have to be naughtiness and niceness, okay? So still some children are not getting toys. But with a score of 10 out of 2.4 billion children, only 13 million aren't getting toys.
Oh, God, that almost makes it worse, doesn't it? Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry you were failed by the system and by your caregivers.
You can
sorry.
lower it if you want fewer kids to not get...
Well, but that doesn't help, does it? I mean, it makes them less alone. Because the more you cast people out, if you're the only 14 million children waking up on Christmas Day without something, you're just going to get more naughty. You're going to give up. What does naughty even mean? Give them words that they understand. Naughty is nebulous.
Well, why don't you split it down the middle then? Just 50% of the children get toys.
Oh, Ron, I don't like this level of responsibility.
That's on you, man. Just tell me, where you want your naughtiness coefficient to fall.
Okay, let's say then. Naughtiness, I'm going to set the parameters for what naughtiness means. Okay. Naughtiness means repeated not listening, and not listening on the bigger stuff. Like, you absolutely understand that hitting's not nice. But then what if they're being hit because they get hit at home and they just don't understand? No child is naughty.
13 million children are naughty.
No. Can I set it to 11 then so that it keeps everybody in?
No.
Oh, stupid maths. Right,
It breaks if you go over 10.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, Ron. I'm not going to play this game as me because me is going to break it. I'm going to play this game as our dad.
Okay.
So I think he's pretty lenient, but he has his level, and I think he does believe in naughty. So I'm going to set my naughtiness coefficient to a 7.
7.
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna be agony dad.
Do you want to know how many naughty children that makes?
Not enough.
About 250 million.
Poor. Needs to be more.
Needs to be more. Do you want to lower that?
No. We're gonna leave it at 7. I'm just being gruff on the exterior, where actually I'm soft and nougat-y on the middle.
Okay, Laura. Okay. So, great. So we're doing 15 toys per child.
Mm-hmm.
The naughtiness coefficient is set to 7.
Okay.
So that means, about 250 million children not getting their 15 toys. The total toys that we need to produce then is 32.2 billion toys.
It's a lot of toys, Ronks.
This means that your factory needs to be putting out 3.6 million toys an hour round the clock for the full year. Wow. Okay, Laura. Next decision that needs to be made.
But do we get a day off though, don't we? Surely we have Christmas Day off, don't we?
No, you start working for the next year.
Usually in films, they're all stood around like watching the flight happen, and then they have one day.
I can adjust every number in the spreadsheet if you want.
I think my elves.
Actually, no. That's factored in. Don't worry about that. That's fine.
Okay.
This is just how many. This is just an average. Okay.
Okay.
You're actually. The next decision that you need to make, Laura, is, and I already know a little bit sort of where you're going to fall on this, but you need to work out what sort of toys we're giving to people, okay? And this is going to affect how quickly your elves can make them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So they're getting 15 toys. They have the choice of stick and hoop,
Oh.
a doll, an action figure, a Rubik's Cube, an Etch-a-Sketch, an elaborate Lego set, and a PS5.
Crikey. Well, immediately I can rule out the PS5 and the stick and the hoop, because I've never fully understood the stick and the hoop, and the PS5 is frankly too much.
So I can split it evenly across those other ones, or you can weight it like more dolls and action figures, less elaborate Lego sets. That's up to you.
I feel like elaborate Lego set needs to go. That's a wrappable under the tree. That's not stocking
Okay.
to my mind.
So do you want to go 25% doll, action figure, Rubik's Cube, Etch-a-Sketch?
Yeah, I think that feels good. And even the Etch-a-Sketch, that's getting up there in my humble opinion. But
I can
yeah.
lower the Etch-a-Sketch if you want.
But doesn't that just mean that only some children are getting... No, wait.
Because they're getting 15 toys, so at this rate, they're all getting 3 dolls, 3 action figures, 3 Rubik's Cubes, and 3 Etch-a-Sketches.
Right, here's the thing, though. You only want 1 Etch-a-Sketch and 1 Rubik's Cube each, and then the others are going to have to be various dolls, I think.
Okay, so should we say 40% doll, 40% action figure, 10% Rubik's Cube, 10% Etch-a-Sketch?
You're still getting 1.5 Etch-a-Sketches, aren't you?
Yeah, but let's leave some leniency in the maths.
Okay,
because-
yeah. I think that makes sense, because you don't want three Rubik's Cubes. You're going to end up being one of those weirdos on TikTok that's solving it in myriad ways in a number of seconds.
Okay, so you've gone for toys down on the quicker end of the scale there. So I've said our elves are quick, right? So a doll they can make in 3 minutes, action figure they can make in 10, Rubik's Cube is 12, and an Etch-a-Sketch is 15.
That's very
So
fast.
with the percentages that you've put in, on average per elf per hour, we're getting 11.3 toys out of them.
Shit, we're going to need a lot of elves. I'm going to have, you know, like when we play Minecraft and younger sister of the podcast, Meg, has to breed animals. I'm going to have like an elf breeding stable.
Well, we'll get into that, Laura, okay? So you now need to decide a bit about your elf welfare, okay? Your elfare.
My welfare.
So how many days a week are your elves
Don't
working?
just nod. Here's the thing I found lately when editing Ron. I crack a hilarious pun. And
Laura,
you...
I literally said elfare before you did, and then you said it louder.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, because you were talking over me, so...
Okay, sorry about that. Merry Christmas.
So first decision, how many days a week are your elves working?
Well, 6 days each.
6 days each, okay.
Should we go Victorian housemaid rules, like 6.5? Should we just give
Well-
them Sunday afternoons off to wander down to their poor parents in the village?
Well, now you need to decide how many hours a day.
Oh, right. I think a 10-hour day is reasonable.
Okay.
No?
That's a long day.
Wow. You get into the workshop around 7, and you work till midday. You take an
That's
hour's
5
lunch,
hours.
12 till 1, and then you work till 6.
That's a long day.
Yeah.
That's fine. How many bank holidays are you giving your elves?
Let me think.
8 is the standard in the UK.
Okay, so what would elves need to celebrate? They'd need to celebrate the longest day and the shortest day, because that's going to be pretty iconic in the North Pole, isn't it?
They're solstice day.
The solstices, yeah. They're going to need solstice days. I'm going to say they need some kind of whale festival for when the whales return / stay there the whole time. They're going to have some sort of ice day. I reckon they probably speak Sami or one of the, the Arctic languages, and they famously have loads of words for snow. So let's say they have like a snow and ice day. That's 4. Everybody loves April Fool's Day. Dracos. No, they don't need a day off for April Fool's Day. Every year I promise them one, and then I don't, and that's the tricko. So
Right.
they've got 4. Then they have a sort of a workers' day in January where you're allowed to go and mend your clothes and stuff. I'm going to give them 5, Ron. They can have 5 bank holidays.
You didn't mention Christmas,
Oh,
which
yeah.
you already said they needed off.
Yeah, no, yeah. They get Christmas Day off. I think they get Christmas Day off, Ron.
Not Boxing Day. They're
I think
straight
they'd be
back at it.
gagging to get back to work. Ah, go on. Let the little fucks have Boxing Day off. Yeah,
Right,
that's right. They get 7 days. Slightly less than the British, but significantly more than, I don't know,
Other places,
the USA
maybe.
probably.
Okay, Laura. And then holiday days.
Oh, no, they don't need those.
None. No holiday days.
They've got a
So-
lot of bank holidays.
So, children not getting 15 toys 1 day a year, that's made you really upset. And you had to role play our father to be crueler to them, which I do think is something you should talk to someone about. But when it comes to the working rights of
hang
elves,
on.
when it comes to the working
Just put a
well,
pin
the
in
welfare.
this, because I think you're onto something here, and I will come back and address this. Put a pin in this, Ron. To rewind quickly to your aspiration, I didn't become our father to be crueler. I became our father to be a little bit more no-nonsense, old-school opinions to children.
Which manifested as you being withholding and cruel.
No, Dad's not withholding and cruel. He's just,
No, he's not, and I think that's why it's interesting you had to go there to be that.
because I thought he'd be better at drawing a practical line in the sand.
Okay. I didn't. All right, now address the fact that children, great, they need toys. Elves can work themselves to the bone. They're not even
No,
allowed
because
to.
here's the thing, Ron. Here's how I'm picturing elves being. When you watch them in the documentaries, they are usually incredibly enthused by the idea of getting Christmas done, and they're gagging to get back to what they're doing. You look at Arthur Christmas, how passionate they are to get it all out, how devastated they are when something goes wrong.
But you know that if you give them holiday days, they don't have to take them. If they're just gagging to work in the toy mine all the time,
Oh,
you
well,
could
then I'll
do
give them
that.
364 days of holiday a year if they're not going to take it.
But they
Then
might
I look
take it.
brilliant on paper, don't I?
Up to you how many holiday days you want to give them. But I'm just saying, like, there's it's not adding up quite right now, you know?
Okay, so I think they're going to love their festival days so much. I'll give them 5 days of holiday.
Savage.
They can have 5 days. Because I just don't think they're going to want more than that. They can have more, but it's unpaid.
Bloody hell. Okay. So,
How
they're
much would
working
you give them?
25?
But Ron, what are they going to do with them? They live in the North Pole. There's nowhere to go.
They could go on holiday. They go fishing.
We don't have
Go
an
look-
airport.
There
There's
are
no fish
airports in the
left?
North Pole. There are fish. They
One
could
or
go
two.
ski.
Oh, that would be cute watching them ski.
Yeah. they
Okay,
could
give them
spend
40.
time-
40 days off a year.
40 days off. Okay, we've swung back the other way. Okay.
I don't want sad elves.
Well, then stop working them to the bone.
Who am I, the Harry Potter universe?
Okay, Laura. So, okay, that's given us a few more results. Okay, so your elves with the toy selections that you made are churning out 11 toys per hour. So, and with the working hours and holiday days that you've given them, each elf can produce just shy of 30,000 toys a year.
Gosh.
That means we need 1,074,000 elves.
Christ on a bike. And that's not
Okay.
even the elves that are going to have to work in the kitchens to get everybody fed.
Well, Laura, it's quite funny you say that, okay? Because that's the next thing that we need to work out, okay? Is what are we feeding these elves?
Yeah.
So I have a list of staple crops here, and I have the nutrition per square per hectare. So I need you to give me. I need you to pick one crop for logistical reasons.
Okay.
So I've got barley on the list, beans, broccoli, cabbage, cassava, chia seeds. I could do palm oil. I can do quinoa. Let me know what you're thinking elves want to eat, and I'll see if I've got it on my list.
Well, I know elves from our elf episode in a previous Christmas year.
Which
they're-
you'd completely forgotten and wanted to do again.
Yeah, it was
So
fun
I'm
though.
interested to see what you say now.
They're quite sugar based. So would palm be a good idea? Can you get oil and palm
I've
sugar?
got
out of
sugar
the
beet
same-
and sugar cane on the list here.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like sugar's going to be important.
Or sweet potatoes, yams,
I think sugar. I think sugar cane.
sugar cane. Okay. Now, how much are we feeding them, Laura? So I looked at the average caloric need of a 10-year-old, and that falls between 1,800 and 2,200 calories per day. So I think we should base it around there. But obviously it is cold in the North Pole, and you're working them like a death march.
Yeah.
So how many calories do you think we should be shooting to produce for these elves
I
every day?
think if we aim to produce 2,500 calories per elf, then we're catering for some hungry munchers and having birthdays and just days where you're a bit on your period and you need to eat.
Sure. The hungry munchers. Okay, well, you've actually chosen a very calorie-dense crop there in
Great.
the sugar cane, so that's great. So, with
Are we
with them
factoring in
needing-
they're going to have to take vitamin D for half the year?
No.
Probably the whole year because I've got them in sheds.
Well, do you? That's the question.
Oh.
So they're getting 2,500 calories per day. That's great. That means we need just shy of 100 billion calories produced annually.
Crikey.
With sugarcane, that's going to take about 352 square kilometers. Okay, right. We've got that locked down. That's actually not so much compared to some of the test runs I did of this. All right, next question, Laura. How much space are we giving each of these elves to live in? I need this in meters squared. I got a couple of ballparks to give you. Okay.
Okay.
So 2 meters squared is how big a prison cell in Guinea is.
Right.
12 meters squared is how big a prison cell in Norway is. The average flat in London is 75 square meters.
Okay, so I'm going to say 50 square meters each.
Okay.
Smaller than London, but twice the size of prison.
Four
Norway
times the size of Norway prison, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's nice. That gives them space to run around. And they're only small as well, so that's something. Okay, cool. So that's another 53 square kilometers for them all to live. So that's good as well. Okay. Right. Okay, I realised that the back half of this, your involvement really drops off.
Ron, if you think I can't interrupt, you are very wrong.
So, okay, Laura.
You can't spell wrong without Ron.
There is... So, for just your trolley producing elves, we're looking at 405 square kilometres, okay?
What's that? What are we talking there? Shall I have a look at what that equates to?
I've already got that in countries.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. I'm scrolling. So, a bit smaller than Barbados.
Oh, the Real Housewives of Miami just went to Barbados.
A bit bigger than St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Oh, it's quite
So,
tropical.
we're like a tropical island of elves,
yeah,
basically.
okay.
And they're growing sugarcane, so that works out quite well. Okay, Laura, but that's not the whole story.
No.
Okay? Because
We're going to need nannies. We're going to need farmers.
You've been our cruel withholding dad.
Aye!
Well, you've been doing this. So there's 250 million naughty children in the world, Laura.
And they're
What do the
probably
naughty children
marching
get?
on the camp to burn us to the ground in retribution for last year. Oh, God.
But Laura, what do the naughty children get?
Oh, coal. Coal, we've got a mine.
Well, I've done it based off charcoal because I wanted it to be a bit more self-sustainable. Okay, so there's 250 million naughty children in the world that we need to produce. I've decided 1 kilo of charcoal.
A kilo? I thought it was just a lump. I think we just give them a lump, not a kilo. A kilo of charcoal is quite useful.
Well, how much is a lump then? Give it to me in grams. Half a kilo?
I'm going to say a lump of charcoal. Oh, it can't be more than 20 grams.
Bullshit.
How heavy is a lump of How heavy is a lump of coal? Standard coal density. Right, size. A small piece of model railway coal might weigh only 150 to 200 grams. Oh, okay. Right, it's heavier than I thought.
So should we say 200 grams?
40 grams of coal costs 25 euros from Driner Hardware.
40 grams of that can't be true.
Well, Supertherm smokeless coal, 40 kilo bags. Yeah, it's 29 euros here. You can get it for 28 euros if you're willing to buy 5 bags. Oh, crikey. Irish coal's expensive. What was I supposed to be looking at?
We're going to say 200 grams of coal then.
Okay.
Okay, so 200 grams of coal. Then for our naughty children.
Well, you can buy lumps of coal on the internet to give to arseholes at Christmas.
Again, I love how you're like, oh, these children, we need to look after them more. But then you don't even want to give them that much coal. You're like, less coal for these kids. Stop reading about coal.
Well, I'm just trying to work out if it's cheaper to buy novelty Christmas coal than actual coal. I don't know the dollars to euro exchange rate. Ron, I'm going to get you some fucking coal for Christmas.
I am going to leave that at your house.
You're not... Oh, no, you are coming to my house. Oh.
I am. Okay, Laura. So we then need 356 million kilos of wood to make this charcoal out of.
Oh my god.
Um,
Are you sure
and
it's not easier? Can we give them oil? Can we modernize it and give them just a little bottle of
It's not
crude oil?
sustainable, Laura.
Well, neither's charcoal, really.
It is, because you can grow the trees and then you turn it into charcoal.
Yeah, okay.
So that means we need 5,000 square kilometers of forest every single year to chop down and
But we're going to
burn.
be planting and regrowing, aren't we?
Yeah. So that's a site. That's an area the size of Trinidad and Tobago every single year that we need to cut
Jeez
down.
Louise.
Now I looked up how long it would take pine trees to grow to make the amount of wood that we need to make all of this charcoal for all these naughty children, and that is 15 years. So we basically need 5,000 times 15. So we need 76,000 kilometers squared to get all of the wood for this.
It's starting to become less and less reasonable to assume drones aren't going to see this from the air and work out exactly where Santa's encampment is.
Yeah, because when you're getting up to that size, we're talking, a place the size of the Czech Republic.
Yeah, this is big
Just-
now.
Just for the charcoal.
Woo, baby.
But here's the thing, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Who's cutting down all these trees and maintaining all
Oh,
this
God, we need woodcutters.
forest? We need, based off of statistics I found, we need 840,000 elves to look after all this woodland.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's a whole burgeoning and just that is that's a whole city in itself.
Yeah.
I think that's about the population of Brighton, isn't it? How many people in Brighton? Oh my god, that's 4 times the population. Population of Brighton and Hove is estimated to be about 300,000 residents.
Yeah, about 2.5 times the population of Brighton and Hove.
Crikey, just for tree cutting.
Just for tree cuttings for
Oh,
all
and they're
these
going to be
naughty
such
children.
weirdos, aren't they? If you can't have that many people just doing tree cutting.
Just for the naughty people as well.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't
Yeah.
be giving these naughty kids anything. It feels
It's-
like it's easier to just give them the toys than to go to these lengths to give them charcoal.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
To set up an entire country-sized forest
I mean,
just
the
to
land that
teach
you're
them a lesson.
the land that you're needing for trees versus the land that you're using for crops and accommodation so far is way out of whack.
But then I suppose, where are we getting the plastic from to make the toys?
Look, I can't do everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you're using almost 200 times more land for charcoal at the
Wow.
moment than you are for making toys. But then, Laura, these forestry elves, they need to eat and they need to live somewhere as well. So by the parameters that you've set out, we need another 275 square kilometers for food crops, and we need another 42 kilometers for their accommodation.
Shit.
Okay? Then I've had to look at how many people you need to work farmland. That's another 2,135 elves. Then I looked and I used the number of people that work at the Cadbury's factory, plus, and then worked it out basically by calorie, how many calories each of them can produce a year. And that's another 3,300 elves just on food production.
Christ, okay.
So that's another 5,500 elves. Another 5 billion calories that needs to be produced. So, yeah. But you've not given them so much space. So that's only another 2 kilometers of food space for those guys. And actually, they can all fit in less than a kilometer squared for accommodation. So that's all fine. So
Is there any chance we could get them living in tree houses in the forests?
No, because you're chopping down the trees and burning them.
But
all the
only
time.
every 15 years.
Yeah, then you're having to. I guess if you want to move them around every 15 years, but I don't think the accommodation is a very small part of this. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Hang on. I've made a mistake in my calculations. 2 seconds.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, row indeed. Because. Ooh. I've just missed that one out completely. Okay, Laura. So
Yeah.
the final results are in. You're looking at a place, a country for your elves around the size, just slightly smaller than the Czech Republic, in between Panama and the Czech Republic. 2 countries you've heard of.
I've been to one of them.
You've been to Panama. Okay. So the last bit that I did was I looked up I tried to compare a similar nation. The one I could get data on was Sweden. I've looked at the average GDP per forestry, agriculture, food processing, and manufacturer. Okay, and that gives your country total GDP of 156 billion pounds.
Okay, I need to
hang
put
on,
this
let's
in
see.
context.
Yeah.
GDP.
I've got the list. Oh my god, it makes you the more wealthy than. Oh no, that's by million. Okay. So you're looking at a GDP around that of Slovakia or Kuwait.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's not bad because Kuwait's got oil.
Actually, because I'm working in pounds, these are all in dollars, so more like Morocco, probably.
Oh, Morocco's got olives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe oil as well.
Yeah, different oil.
Okay, then I looked at the cost of land management. Again, just use Sweden's figures for that. So you're spending about $250 million a year on land management. But then I figured the rest of that money can go back to the elves. Okay, so the average salary for the elves in this utopia
Hang
that
on,
you've created.
Sorry, Ron. I don't know if I phased out for a minute. How is money coming in?
GDP.
What does that mean?
You know, they're producing wealth.
Yeah, but we're giving it away.
Yeah, this is more illustrative than anything.
Yeah, because that's debt. That's not gross domestic income. That is debt that we're building every year.
All right, then I guess this is how much you owe your elves then, but their average salary, based off what I've just said, they're earning 81k a year.
What I'm guessing though, anything we need to earn, that's what Father Christmas is making each year off his lucrative Coca-Cola modeling contract.
Yeah, I guess he might be making 155 billion.
Yeah, I think every time he licenses his likeness to a movie franchise or product, that's where the money comes from to fund this.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making 81k a year, but with your hours, that's £31 an hour.
That's pretty good.
81k, that's a great salary.
And are we taxing them?
No, because again, this is kind of just what we owe them, so.
Great. 81k a year after tax. Jesus, I'd take it. I've got 40 vacation days a year to do stuff with it.
So I guess in terms of sort of me looking at this as a scorecard of, your URLs. I think we're making a lot of toys per child.
Yeah.
Um,
But low value.
Indeed, yeah, indeed, low value.
I mean, it's an environmental nightmare, isn't it? Just making tat on Arctic land that we've reclaimed to grow sugarcane and forestry commissioning on.
I'd say the other problem is sugarcane is not a very complete food, and in fact, on the stats that I'm looking at here, 0 protein and 0 oil.
But we've looked at this before in Elf Anatomy, Ron, and we think that they run differently.
We hope they run differently, but without protein, they're going to be quite frail. They're not going to be very strong. They're not going to repair very well. Without oil, their hormones might be all out of whack.
Oh, does oil help hormone regulation?
Yeah, it does.
Crikey.
Yeah, is there anything after hearing about that you want to tweak at all?
Honestly, I think the big thing that we need to bring to the boardroom, so let's get this Christmas out of the way because we're quite far down the neck of that plug hole. But come January, when we sit down to have the big how's it, what's it, how'd it go, what do we want to do next, I really think we need to say, we need to look at this concept of naughty children, because I think if we can jettison this charcoal situation, can we give them vouchers to their utility company, for example? Can we give them, could we, traditionally when we were a kid, you'd always get that big orange that you didn't want, Why don't we see about bringing back big orange?
Bing back.
Bring back big orange, because then we could get rid of all of this forestry. We can release those elves back into present servitude, and we could have some orange groves that we can grow surplus oranges, and then we can get some vitamin C into our workforce.
It does take less people per hectare for
maybe cocoa beans
then.
for putting chocolate coins in the stockings. What I think we ought to be having to think about is some practical stocking items that double. Maybe we start trying to make biltong fashionable in Christmas stockings so that we've got some protein for these elves. We've presumably
But if
got
you're putting the biltong in the stockings, then the elves aren't eating
No,
it.
but we can produce surplus, We need to make some roundy-turny businesses. So we're already breeding reindeer so that we can fly. We breed surplus reindeer. We start making reindeer boerewors. We put some of the boerewors in the
But
stockings.
we're not breeding reindeer. We've got 12 reindeer. They're clearly all men because women wouldn't have shunned Rudolph for having a red nose. They've just been like, "Are you okay?" So
Reindeer don't last forever. Presumably, we're breeding them to keep reindeer going.
I thought they were sort of like an immortal pantheon alongside. Or are you thinking that this is our flying reindeer
What?
from the episode about reindeer evolution?
Well, I just assumed in the
Wait, no, Laura, it's all coming together in my head now. The flying we're the size of a tropical island nation, as we've worked out here with the maths.
Yeah.
Most of that, the vast majority, is forest.
Rat carpet.
Rat carpet in the forest.
Rat biltong.
Rat tongue.
So that's how the reindeer have started flying. We've overbred the rats to make the biltong, and some of them have escaped, got into the reindeer paddocks. That's how we've ended up with flying reindeer in this shindig.
Yeah. So next year, rat tongue.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's what I think we should be doing, Ron. I think we need to be looking for efficiency between what we need and what presence that's going to create.
Yeah, we need to look at the interlocking overlap of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a terrible business model as it is.
Yeah, well, we're just giving everything away at the moment.
And the thing that we're punishing people with is taking up far more resources than the thing that we're delighted to be producing. and requires like a threefold workforce to keep that going. We don't have any medics. There's problems all over the shop.
No, I was going to add in HR, but I simply ran out of time.
Yeah, no. I think it's a dictatorship, isn't it? It's a benevolent dictatorship. Which means they're all going to get shorter.
HR reps
No,
to
Ron!
employee.
I did a good callback.
So you need one HR professional for every 50 to 100. So how many HR people do we need? Oh, goodness. It's hundreds of thousands. Yeah. Sorry, you did a good callback to the Philippines guy and his hot
Yeah.
wife.
I said it's a benevolent dictatorship. That's why the L's are so short.
Yeah. Slump.
Ron, this was great. I've had a great time. I can see it so clearly in my head.
Yeah, I had a great time too. Had fun putting it together. Did it with fiance of the podcast, Judith, earlier. She was like, "Fuck them kids," but up the workers. So kind of the opposite of you.
Yeah, but she's very a business lady. She's good at running. She actually runs countries, you know?
Yeah, and they've got more forest and probably more charcoal than this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to let her run my life from now on. Girlfriend of the podcast, what do I do now? This was brilliant, Ron, and we'll be back next week with another festive edition of Lexx Education, because we love Christmas, we love you, we don't care for science, but we do like making a podcast. Merry Christmas!
Elfair dismissed.
Beautiful. Oh, Elfair also kind of works as airfare, doesn't it?
What's airfare?
Like the price of a plane ticket, your airfare.
That's not a thing people say.
That is a thing, Ron. Airfare. You Google airfare and it comes up with flight prices.
Yeah,
What does
but that doesn't
airfare mean? An airfare, otherwise known as a fare, is the fee paid by a passenger for air transport.
But you're not going on a mate's holiday and then you're like, "Oh, what's your airfare for that one, mate?" Oh,
I think
that's a
some
cheap
people
flight.
do.
I don't think people do that.
Do people say airfare? Do people
Let me
say-
go. I need a wee.
Yes, airfare is a widely used and correct term for the price of a plane ticket in both American and British English.
Rubbish.
Merry Christmas.